today's tale begins, and I'd like to show off a few tips and tricks against shamans. So, in this battle, I found a shaman and an overseer, along with a bunch of ambushes here, and obviously a line of skirmishers. So the thing with the shaman is he tends to destroy your line advancing a fair bit. So we're going to try and get Genold here as far forward as we can. And here's the old ugly shaman. So all of these ambushes, they're going to open fire on me. If I'm unlucky, they'll do a fair bit of damage. Slightly broken my my rule of attacking during the day. Most of my guys are armed with kite shields here and have fairly decent defense. And as normal with facing skirmishers and ambushes, you have to go to them simply because they tend to outrange you and they love throwing crap on you. So even though I'm this far away, they're all just going to throw nets on me. They're going to throw their little bowl of things on me. And right there is what the shaman does. He basically roots a group of people to the ground. And it tends to wreck your advance, right? So these 5 guys now have to try and make their way out of what they are now attached in. And it seems going through the snow is hurting me a little here. So we're going to try and get us... Well, actually, we're going to see how far the others get before we do that. So I'll show you what they get debuffed with in a second. We're going to get the rest of these guys up on here. So I will try and shoot the shaman when I get in range. So here you can see when they get trapped in vines, they cannot move. So it's basically like a net gets thrown on you. You lose initiative, you lose defense on both ranged and melee. So it's basically a net, right? Just cast from long range and gets a whole bunch. And as normal, you've got to spend a bit of effort trying to get out of it. And it tends to chew up your fatigue a bit. So you can see it might only cost you 4 AP, but 15 action point, 15 fatigue is pretty harsh. I mean, look at this guy. He's already up to 30, and he has fairly much done nothing, right? He has fairly much done nothing. We're going to get this guy in here. So I'm building up a little wall here. This guy's slightly out of position. We're going to try and break this. And nope. And we're going to take a few shots here. So let's see what they do. So there's also an overseer in here. So he is encouraging all their troops as well. So you can see we've got a couple encouraged here. It just means that they're going to hit... It's basically like when your guys get encouraged, right? They have better chances to hit and all those disastrous things. We're going to move up here. So all my archers from a previous fight, I actually accidentally forgot to equip them with their bows. With their... Sorry, not their bows. Their crossbows. Which is going to make things a little interesting, since we now have to advance, equip, and reload. We're not going to get to... Unless I get them to a position where they can fire from, they're not going to be able to fire straight away. And you can see what happens. Tend to get one guy picked on here. He is taking a lot of fire, unfortunately. It doesn't help that he is trapped in that net, which is reducing his skill points here. And once again, I have been vined here. So you do get slowed down getting into battle. I mean, they're only goblins, but if you can't get to them, they are really rough, right? They are really rough. So let's have a look. So it's basically a net, right? So not quite as bad. See, we get a fair bit of debuff on this one, 45, 45, and 45, but it is close to being unreasonable. We're going to try and put our crossbow in here. We're not going to be able to fire it, but at least it is now in our hands, and we are ready for our next turn. You sir are going to step up. You're going to equip that, And you should be able to reload this turn. Excellent. So we're going to step into our first bit of combat down here. It's kind of annoying because this guy's got his spear wall up. So I might not be able to get Eric the Black in. I could try getting... I might do this. I might shield wall up. And I'm going to step Ramold in. Since he's now going to have a decent chance to block this. And he didn't. That is unfortunate. But now I can probably get Eric in here and get a decent swing here. And these guys are really struggling to get out of these vines. So we've got Eric, at least he is on the front line here. He could do a two-handed chop this way as well, get rid of some of these ambushes here. So we're through some of the vines. Let's see if the rest can get out of their vines. And you can see what it's done, right? It's basically taken me 2 turns to even get to the front line here. We're going to engage these guys so they stop throwing their weapons at me. And these guys haven't even managed to get off the front lines yet, right? Genold, can you get out of your... Nope. So Genold, he hasn't even made it to the front line and he is exhausted, right? And he's still trapped in his net as well, which is a slight disadvantage because now anyone who can still fire is probably going to give him a bit of slack. At least he's now behind Torkel. And you can see the vines it's broken up my advance here, so a lot of guys aren't behind shields now, which makes things a little bit difficult. You can see they're still firing on Genold here because he's injured and hurt and trapped. He's not having the greatest of times. So we're going to hopefully be able to shoot at the shaman soon. Because he is, he's just going to wreak havoc, right? He's just going to wreak havoc. The good thing is, at least there's no debuffs for firing while trapped in vines. You do still have the negative to any other skills, but we can start firing back. And I'm going to prioritize the shaman, because as soon as he goes down, I'm going to have a way better time of advancing here, right? So he's down now, and we're probably going to step in a little here, just so that I get some cover. And I could possibly dump my dog in here as well. I might not, as... do I want to dump my dog in? It's probably a little bit too early for dog dumping. Just simply because I haven't quite engaged all of their line here. We're going to do a two-handed slash this way, because I really want to get rid of these ambushes. I could consider... I don't think... Yeah, see, I can only hit 2 of them with the round swing there. But we will do this, because I know that that back line is pretty easy. If you hit them, they're going to go down. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go for the swing. Simply because I just want to try and clear as much damage as I can on these guys. And hitting 2 for 1, it's pretty good. You know? So, even though I only killed him, I at least had a chance to hurt him. I'm going to break our vines here and step forward with Carl. And what we're looking at doing is finally his shenanigans are down. So we're going to get up on this. And we're going to do this guy in the middle, since he has got 2 brothers touching him. And it's at least going to give us a little bit more chance to hit. See if we can't get out of some of these ropes. So what I'm going to do here on Torkel is I'm actually going to try and break free. The reason for that is I just don't want the debuff on me. I don't want the melee debuff, since I am in combat with 2 of these guys. We're going to wait a turn on him, because maybe we can get Sigbold in. So Sigbold, he's going to come in. And he is not going to be able to do anything. But at least he's now in, so we've got a little bit of an advantage on this one in the middle. I'll probably shield wall here just to give him a little bit more cover. At least help him out a little. And this guy over here has made a bit of a mistake. So I'm going to grab a hold of the ambusher here, because I distinctly hate getting shot with arrows. And the sooner I get on that, the better. This poor man is not only vined up, but he's poisoned, so he's going nowhere fast. Chanol is still trapped in his ropes. He's got a slightly bad time there. Alright, Torkel, we're probably gonna shield wall you up just to give it an advantage over here. The thing with the ambushes is you've got to be careful. They can stab right through your armor, and anything that goes through armor is going to give you poison damage on these guys, which is pretty painful because you lose quite a lot of action points here. Sigbold here, he's now trapped and getting beaten on. Poor old Sigbold. Looks like this guy's come down, and it's probably a mistake for him because I'll step forward Eric here and hit him from up top. Ooh, Sigbold's taken a fair bit of a beating there, actually. He might go down. He might go down. These fights are pretty tricky. I don't enjoy getting netted up here. What I am going to fire on is probably the ambusher here. Simply because I know that they will go down pretty quick. And that's one less arrow to the face I have to deal with. We're going to deal with this guy here. Hopefully we can get Sigbold a little bit of respite. We're going to keep beating on this one as well, since we have the advantage of two brothers touching. And Erland, he's going to swing for the head here, since they don't really have a lot of head armor. Going to reload here, and we're going to try and shoot probably the ambusher here, because we have the added advantage that if it does connect, it at least kills off. Ooh, alright. Sigbold, I think you've got an issue here, my friend. I think you have an issue. And the issue is going to be that you just don't have enough hit points, eh? So what I've done here is I've moved him down here so that I can get the advantage on this one here and kill him off. And move Ortwin here to touch the ambusher. He can still step back, but at least we now have a bit more of a chance to soak up some of these blows. And Eric, he stepped in here, and I'm going to go for the two-handed strike, just so that I can take out at least one. And he's going to hang out here. And we're finally getting some of the other lads in, so we're going to see if we can't swap over this. We probably won't shoot. What we'll do is we'll get into a position where we can shoot. And we're probably going to start dumping our dogs now. just to tie up what's left and assist with any surrounds we can get going on. And we're going to... Okay, we don't have enough. We are pretty exhausted now. So we're going to try and break from this. And I would have liked to have stepped in front. But I can't. So Genold, he's going to hold his turn in here, and he's actually going to get a bit of his stamina back, I guess. The shooting could be interesting, since Sigbold is he's kind of covered, but not well. Hopefully the ambusher here will go for my dog. The main fear here is the overseer. He probably has to shoot into the shield here. Although, if he shot this way, yeah, it could be a little scary. We're going to start trying to wear down the overseer here. I don't have the greatest of shots. I could. I don't have enough to step in there. So we're going to fire from here. 29 is all we've got, but 29 is what we will take. Carl, he's going to step forward. We'll probably step him into combat. Just to assist with more touches on the skirmisher. And we should be able to... Probably can't get anyone else into combat here, but we will try and slam that man. And we're going to fire once again on the... We will probably just take a shot at the skirmisher here, just to end him. The more we clear off the board, the better. We're also going to try and get... So Eric, he has very few options here. I'm probably going to move Eric towards the middle. Just so we can try and get a hold of this overseer here. I should have held Ortwin. This was a mistake. because I actually wanted Erlen to be assisting, but it's worked out. It's worked out. Here we can get Eric, and Eric is going to step in to the Overseer, and we're going to go for the two-handed slash. We're going to do a fair bit of damage, which is nice. This fight here, it's going alright. 25, he should survive. I would like to grab a hold of a few more of these ambushes, but I don't think I can. So we're going to move Torkel here to assist on the Overseer fight. And what else have we got? Alright. Genold, I would like a bit more assistance down here. Can you get into the square? No, you can't. And you, sir, are going to flank around. Hopefully put a little bit of pressure on the archers at the back. And Sigbold, I'm actually going to step him in behind these two, just to give a little bit of chance on these two taking the shot instead of him. We've pushed, the archers are running for it now. We'll probably drop the last of our dogs here, just to help with surrounds. This guy is fairly much surrounded. He'll probably stab at this if we're lucky. He's actually run out of energy, so we're even better off here. Just going to stab him. The Overseer, he's going to go for my dog, but I would rather my dog than anyone else. They're basically a bit of a sponge for the rest of my brothers. Alright, so what do we got here? We're going to hold your turn because we're probably going to move a few more of the brothers in here. And you, sir, finally going to get... Yeah, could move you into assist here. So we'll move you into assist. You're not going to be able to do anything. It was a bit of a mistake on the way I've moved you in, but that's fine. And the rest of the boys, they're just going to beat on the Overseer. Hopefully take him out. And as soon as we take out this last guy here, the rest should flee. And we should win. We're going to grab a hold of old Ambusher here, just to get some revenge. Doesn't look like Sigbold can get in on this. So Sigbold, you're just going to raise your shield and defend yourself as much as you can. And finally, Ramold, he's going to just slam away at this man. So I'm keeping up the pressure on the ambushes, because if you let them just sit out here, they may not run. They may decide to take a little bit out of one of you guys. I'm going to swap over to our axe here. Probably going to bring our axe down on his shield, so that he has no more defense. We do not want you defending yourself at all. Might dump out one more of our dogs. Just so it'll probably cover a bit more ground than the rest of the brothers. And we want to get up on this ambusher as quickly as we can. You, sir, are just going to get over here. And you, sir, are going to get in here. Eric, my friend. Genold, you're up. So I just want to be careful I don't send anyone who's too beaten up into this fight. Just because those last minute deaths are the worst deaths. They are some of the worst deaths to have. When you think you're winning and suddenly someone dies. So we're going to go for the lash here. We've only got one shot at it, but if it does hit, it'll do a fair amount of damage. And it has crushed his windpipe, so he's got a bit of a debuff going on there. We're going to just keep Sigbold at the back here. And we will run them down. It's only this guy left. And he is going to take a dog to the face. And we win. We win. So, shamans. They do have an other attack. But as you can see, the main one is the vine attack, which really breaks up your formation. Especially against goblins when they're already throwing nets on you. They're already throwing a fair amount of ranged attacks. As you can see, I did gain a nice little item from this. Gained a fair bit of gold here. Fair bit of food, actually. I also got a gnarly staff. Good old gnarly, eh? It's not really the greatest of weapons, right? In fact, it's not great at all, but the old Overseer Spiked Impaler, it's pretty nice with the knockback there, but you have to choose between this and bows. I'd probably prefer war bows. So other things to look out for with shamans, yeah, it's just breaking up your formation and trying to get your guys into actual combat without being too exhausted. I did have the added disadvantage that I'm fighting on a snow map here, so they were running in even more exhausted just through having to add a little bit more fatigue and AP to movement there, but yeah, Goblin Shamans are done. Tune in next time for more tips and tricks from Battle Brothers. Hey guys, thanks again for watching. If you like what you've seen, hit that subscribe button or leave me a comment on anything you want to see in the future.